Hey guys, Scott and Nate from PlayYourCourt.com, and today Nate Dogg is going to show you how to improve depth and spin on your ground strokes.
We've got a new name apparently.
Alright guys, so today talking about how to add power and topspin on your ground strokes. This video is for players with a PlayYourCourt rating of 80 and up. If you don't know what that means, that's your fault for not being in our community, so click the button or the link below and join. Guys, I know as much as I love to talk today, I'm going to do you a favor and let Nate take the steering wheel, and I'll be the demo dummy, and Nate's going to coach you how to add more power and spin on your ground strokes.
Thanks, dummy. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome out there. All right, guys, so this is for high-level players. We're not going to get through the forehand. Hopefully, all of you are using that non-dominant arm, and we're working through an abbreviated take-back, not breaking the plane. What we're going to talk about is extension. All right, we're going to talk about how this helps with your depth and your spin. All right, so we know that spin is always going to be produced by going low to high, right? Whether it's a big margin or a small margin that the racket is traveling to the ball. But the depth, right, like the depth and the way this ball penetrates has everything to do with extension. And so the analogy that we like, right, is, remember tetherball?
Ah, yes, the volleyball,
Yeah.
the pole, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's my favorite game of all time.
It was a good one,
It was a
right?
good
Like, so in PE, you had the tetherball champion.
Click like if you like tetherball. Let's go.
Yeah, so, you know, you may have been out there, and as a kid, I know I focused on the wrong thing. It was like, man, how hard can I smack this thing and get it to go over little Scotty's head? And that's just not the way that it worked, right? It was about sound contact.
Because I wasn't little. I was like 6'3" at age 12.
Yeah, because he ate his twin as well.
Not nice or true.
But so what would happen is, like, if you really got a hold of the ball and you were hitting it, you were hitting out and away, right, and getting good extension. And what would happen is the ball would get to extension through the rope and then travel the farthest distance away from the solid.
I'm just thinking about playing
pole,
my
right?
dad in the backyard. Like, we had a tetherball pole in our backyard. We actually changed it to have, like, whatever you call them, the little Kadima paddles and then a tennis ball on the string instead of the volleyball.
Oh, that's cool.
But I just remember, like, trying to hit it, and the goal is always just to have the rope reach full extension and loop out around my dad's head, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta get to hit it again, and just to keep it going before you can even touch it.
This is the extension that we're talking about, 100%, same exact concept, right? All right, so let's jump right into this. Let's show you what's essential. This is timing, right? Like, we want the ball out in front, but if you're doing this, these are the parameters that we want to see for this to be correct, so that you know that you've done it successfully. So Scott's going to run through a forehand here. We'll go ahead and face this way, because I want you to see the back, the position of the finish now.
Stop looking at my butt.
Sorry, I'm as uncomfortable as you are. All right, so run through the forehead. All right, so he works through, and this is the key here. All right, so what we're seeing is space between the shoulder and the hand, right? And then most importantly, we're seeing this space between the elbow and the hip. All right, so if this arm was to drop, right, this hand would be brought in, and you can see there, the circle's going to be very, very tight. Right, you can come on back around. I want to see you behind. All right, that is the joint position that's really, really important. But remember, we talked about this stable center, right? We talked about the pole for tetherball. All right, so Scott, if he runs his forehand now, what you're going to notice is how still his head is. Go ahead and face this way. Let me show you from the front. All right, so he's hitting his forehand, and his head and everything else is going to stay centered forward and allow the racket to work around the body, right?
I like a tip called shoulder to shoulder, where I'm starting with my left shoulder under my chin and I'm finishing almost with my right shoulder under my chin, and my head, just like you said, is the pole, like the axis that everything rotates around.
All right, so maybe you're at home and you're thinking, I'm already doing these things and I'm not getting the depth, the spin or the pace that I'm really desiring, right? So what we're gonna show you now is a different finish. And as Scott goes through this, you'll notice as he goes in with the left foot, he's able to bring that hip around, and now we get the butt cap perpendicular. So where before the racket was finishing this way, good extension, means that he got the contact well out in front. But if he's here, he's full extension, and now we're getting that tetherball effect where it's really wrapping all the way around, right? And he's getting that racket, the butt cap perpendicular to the side fence and getting a full uncoil here.
A little bit extra pop, a little bit extra depth, right?
Yeah, and guys, this is never gonna happen. This is why it's for higher levels. If you're having contact issues, this isn't gonna happen. This is just a little something where if you're trying to get a little bit more on your ball, right, focus on those joint positions, focus on getting the elbow, making sure when you finish that you're keeping the racket from the left shoulder and the elbow away from the hip. All right, and then let's make sure that racket tip is pointing back. And then for even more depth, let's go ahead and coil and get that butt cap perpendicular.
Yeah, and lower level players, this is definitely not step one. Turn this video off, go watch a different video where we talk about how to extend out through 3 balls. That's where you should focus on depth at the lower level. We're talking about, you already understand all that. You're trying to add a little bit more power, trying to really get that ball within, you know, that last foot of the baseline.
Yep. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this today. Get out there and practice this. Hold it. You know, I think for me, when I'm working on technique, I always hold the finish, right? And I become mindful of where I'm.
You freaked me out. You were like, hold it. And I was like, yeah, okay. Sorry, carry on. Hold it, hold it.
Right? Hold the finish, right? Make sure that you're aware of what's happening and then go out and put it into play.
For sure. Guys, as always, hopefully this instruction helps. Do us a favor, click the link below. Join the Play Your Court community. If you need practice partners in your area, if you need help, you go out there, you lose a match, instant feedback from Nate and I on things that you need to improve your game. It's all inside the Play Your Court community. Click the button in the link below. Also, we'd love to have you here on our YouTube channel on a regular basis, so please click subscribe. And if you liked the content, press that like button as well. We'll see you guys soon.